After days of being on the run, Susu is finally breaking the silence and posting on his Twitter. It is now becoming much more clear what the current situation is and what the next steps will be, but legal action is still pursuing this man to the very end. The judge has officially frozen the remaining assets of 3AC and have ordered Susu to arrive at the court, or else he will be a fugitive. You guys, you don't want to miss this one out because the news about 3AC is crazy. Alright, let's start with the first thing, okay? And that is that I hope you guys have a fantastic morning, and I hope you brought yourself some nice coffee because you just want to sit down and listen to this, okay? You want to be up to date of everything. I'm going to make sure of that. Just relax, all right? That's your only task. Make sure to like the video as well. So let's start with the beginning, right? Federal judge in New York has frozen all of the remaining 3AC's assets. Now, obviously, that's probably $6, right? But it is still a pretty relevant something because let's face it, it's probably not $6, okay? So assets have been frozen. Okay. Another thing, a legal administrator receives approval to Sufuna, I think you call it Sufuna, the founder and manager of 3AC Assets. Now, I'm an idiot, right? So I had to Google what Sufuna meant, but it means that the judge basically will go to the 3AC founders and order them to come to court. It's not a question. They're being Sufunad, meaning, if that's even a word, they're being Sufunad, so they have to show up, right? Or else, I don't even know what the precautions are. I assume they would be a fugitive, or first they will get a big fine or whatever, but they have to come to court. As you guys are probably well aware of, they're gone, right? They are nowhere to be found. Many sources state that they've actually left Singapore, so their actual whereabouts are completely unknown even to the court. That is why the Sufuna has been ordered. But Susu has finally publicly made a statement again, and so did its legal team. Essentially, one of the first things they said was, "You don't know where I am, but that is because I have been receiving death threats and I am scared for my life, so I fled." Now, obviously, death threats are horrible and it shouldn't happen, not even to him. And, you know, that's horrible, of course. But it does sound a little bit like an excuse. Like, you need to go to court, not the moment to disappear off the face of the earth, right? This is not a good timing. So, I understand that you may have had death threats. Hire a bodyguard, right? This is not the time to disappear. And he's still gone. We still don't know where he is. This man needs to go to court, but no one knows where he is. Anyways, he has actually tweeted now for the first time in a while. He says, 3 Arrows Capital founder Susu says they're in good faith to cooperate with the liquidators, was met with baiting. Now here you see Susu with a pretty large tweet with some screenshots of some emails. Now, this article goes on to say that the aforementioned seen emails were sent out by Christopher Arnold Daniel of Advocatus Law, who is Susu's legal counsel. The emails were reportedly sent to the legal team of 3 Arrows Capital liquidators. Additionally, as per email, was accusing liquidators of baiting both founders. All of this while neglecting their effort to work with them. And then we see Susu won't be proceeding with today's call. So basically, he's just saying that its liquidators don't want to work with him. And I don't really know if I mean, this is kind of cap, right? To say it really shortly. Obviously, they want to work with him, but he just doesn't want to work with them. Just all sounds like pretty meager excuses. And just like that, he's going to miss another call. Like, what? How are you possibly going to talk this right? I don't have to tell you that he's not the most popular guy right now, right? So I'm not gonna go too much into this, but his responses, I'm not a big fan of them. I feel like they're all cheap excuses, and anyone with a bit of sense can just look straight through them. They're nothing, they're air. Then here is one more article about Susus, again showing that the court has absolutely no clue where they are right now, even though they have started tweeting again and started publicly making statements again. The court still doesn't know where they are. According to a report by Law 360 on July the 12th, U.S. bankruptcy judge Martin Glenn issued an order on Tuesday allowing the Sufunas, after being told by the counsel for the liquidators that the founders' whereabouts are unknown and that there are fears they could be selling off tens of millions in assets. So again, why did they freeze the assets? Why did they demand them to go to court right now? Is because they fear that in secret, far away, they're selling off whatever assets they have left. It could be as much as tens of millions. Now, this is obviously not allowed. This is why the court is doing what they're doing. Might be a little bit late. I mean, if you did this a week or two ago, then maybe it was effective. But if they were actually selling things off, then they've probably already sold most of it off. But then again, I digress. Get that man into court and stop him from selling off assets. Okay, on to some other stories as well, because apart from 3AC, there's more news in the world, you guys. Key metrics suggest Bitcoin and the wider crypto market have further to fall. Now, this is, of course, a very bearish sentiment, and we have talked about it in the previous market overview as well. Traders are not as fearful as they were in June, but several metrics show that the market is still standing on paper on thin support. Market capitalization has fluctuated in a 17% range in the 840 billion to 980 billion zone for the past 28 days. Now, entirely true, we have hit 1 trillion as well. The price movement is relatively tight considering the extreme uncertainty surrounding the recent market sell-off, catalyst, and the controversy surrounding Three Arrows Capital. Now, obviously, what we've been seeing lately has been a domino effect, right? So I don't even remember who was first. I believe it was Voyager, and then 3AC, and I believe then Celsius, and then a bunch more. At any rate, it was first crypto company, then the other, then the other, then the other, then the other. And as a domino effect, they kept on falling. And it is because of that reason that I don't think it is a weird conclusion to make that there's yet more dominoes to fall. Who says that Celsius and all that will be the last victims of this domino effect, right? It is entirely likely that there are much more big companies to fall, big whales to sell off, big liquidation scandals to be revealed. And if this is going to happen, it will happen in July. Like, there's not a domino going to fall in August, right? If there's more dominoes to fall, then those will happen in July. So this is going to be a tremendously important period. It will basically decide whether this bear market will be unlike something we've ever seen before, or that it will stay relatively calm and that we might slowly start to stabilize. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know what will happen. I'm not giving advice either, but this is just what I'm observing. In other news, Sri Lanka's central bank reiterates crypto warning following protesters seizing the president's residence. If you are not aware, in Sri Lanka, it's a bit of a mess. It's a horrible situation there for the people. They do not have gas. There are regular blackouts. They don't have access to essential goods, and the prices are through the roof. The people are angry and they have stormed the palace of the president several days ago. Now, the president and its government have made a very interesting statement following this event. They've said, amid economic and political turmoil, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, or CBSL, has warned the public against crypto purchases due to the lack of regulatory oversight. Now, this just feels absolutely retarded, if I say it very, very nicely, right? Your currency isn't worth anything, and the country is at the brink of collapse. Why would you tell people not to go to crypto? Because despite this bear market, it's looking to be a lot more stable than the situation over at Sri Lanka. Now, I know why they do this, right? They don't want the money of their people to go into crypto because they need the money to go within their own country, right? They want them to hold their currency, they want them to trade, they want them to do whatever. But the situation just isn't good. And I don't blame these people for trying to find more security in crypto. I don't blame them at all. But I also understand why the bank makes this statement. It's purely logical for both sides to do what they're doing. I'm not going to go into this one, but I wanted to point it out to everyone. There was a big bill dropped by the US government, I believe in early June, that is going to regulate crypto. Now, we already discussed it, but I wanted to show you guys this tweet. It is blowing up right now, and it is a thread perfectly explaining the 68 pages of this report. So if you want to read up on the bill and what is going to change within the USA with in terms of crypto regulations, then definitely move over to this tweet, as it is explained perfectly. It is just a little bit too long for this market review, and because it's not really relevant news, because it is already quite old, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I did wanted to point it out to everyone. In the last segment of today, we see Shiba Inu attracts heavy buying pressure for 12 days straight in July. Let's read into this a little bit. This month, the cryptocurrency market is trading under the pretext of 1 step forward and 2 steps back. The market trades are in the green for a few hours and dips to red the other hours of the day. Generating profits now seems a thing of the past, as it's impossible to exit the market with good returns. Shiba Inu has been trading similarly this year and barely generates decent returns for its investors. The dog-themed token is dipping and testing the patience of its loyal community of investors. However, data from Coinbase shows that despite the dip, Shiba Inu is attracting heavy buying pressure in the market. Now, of course, because of this bear market, there's not a single coin that really is doing well for its investors. Really, what you should be looking at is, what do you think? What coin do you think will do good after the bear market, right? It's not about making profits right now, because that's nearly impossible. What you have to look at is, what coin is low price right now, like everything, but do you see growing in the future? Well, apparently a lot of people think that Shiba. Me personally, I would never put my money in Shiba, but that is just my opinion, right? But yeah, that's why, despite the market is like how it is right now and it's not making anyone any profit, there's still a lot of people buying. These are people that believe in it. They see Shiba going big after the bear market is over. All right, everybody, that was it for the articles. Let's quickly look at the market. We're seeing that the market is at 910 billion, meaning it dropped by 90 billion over the last 2 days or something like that, as we were at 1 trillion 2 or 3 days ago. So that's a big drop off. Bitcoin is far below 20k at 19.5, I should actually say. Ethereum, a little bit lower, still above $1,000 though, surprisingly. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Ethereum go to $800. We actually had an amazing conversation about that in our Discord, so if you haven't joined our Discord yet, make sure to join it. We talk about the price predictions a lot, but many other things as well, so join it for sure. For the rest of the other coins, it's kind of more of the same, right? It's red. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Greed Index is at 15, so it's 1 lower than yesterday. It is slowly, gradually going down again, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, 15 is not too bad. Neutral. All right, that's neutral. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to tune in next week. Tomorrow. I do it every day, you guys, every single day. Dedication, right? Make sure to tune in tomorrow as well. Make sure to like, join our Discord, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.